Hey there. Ready to dive in?
Absolutely.
Today we're getting microscopic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exploring how our bodies grapple with viruses.
Right.
But get this, sometimes our defenses can actually cause more harm than good.
Yeah,
Wild right.
that's true.
It's a real double-edged sword.
It is. It's a delicate dance.
Okay.
And this research pinpoints a key player,
Okay.
an enzyme called Superoxide Dismutase 1,
Oh,
or SOD1 for sure.
this OD1.
Yeah.
Sounds like some kind of robot sidekick.
Right.
Okay, so walk me through this.
Sure.
What's the setup here?
So these researchers zoomed in on the liver during a viral infection.
The liver.
Yeah, you see, your liver's not just filtering out last night's decisions.
Okay.
It's a crucial battleground against infection, especially in those early stages.
Right, like those first few hours when you're not even sure if you're getting sick or just need a nap.
Exactly.
Okay.
And they use this really cool technique called RNA sequencing.
Okay.
Imagine taking a snapshot of every single gene in the liver
Wow.
and seeing which ones are flipping on and off in response to the virus.
It's like seeing which lights are blinking in the control room when the alarm goes off.
Exactly.
Okay, so what were they seeing? What systems were kicking into gear?
Well, one thing that really jumped out was this cluster of activity
Yeah.
related to something you might not expect: oxidative stress.
Oxidative stress.
Yeah.
Okay, for those of us who need a little refresher course,
Sure.
break that down for us.
What?
What is it and why does it matter when fighting off a virus?
Imagine this. Inside your cells, you have these unstable molecules
Yeah.
called free radicals.
Okay.
They're a natural byproduct of our body's processes.
So just happening all the time?
All the time, yeah.
Huh.
Think of them like the exhaust from your car.
Okay.
Usually it's no big deal.
Okay.
Our bodies have ways of neutralizing them.
Our own internal pollution control system, love it.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay.
And SOD1, our robot sidekick enzyme,
Right.
is a key player in that system.
Okay.
It helps neutralize a particularly nasty type of free radical.
Okay. But in this study, something was off right.
Yeah.
That's why we're talking about fighting infection backfiring.
Right.
Right.
They found that during a viral infection,
Yeah.
the levels of SOD1 in a liver actually dropped.
Wait, seriously.
Yeah,
So the very thing that's supposed to be cleaning up the mess is disappearing.
that's
That's like taking away the fire extinguisher when the house is on fire.
a perfect analogy.
Oh, no.
And just like in a house fire, things can escalate quickly. And they do.
So those mice were in rough shape,
Yeah.
even if the virus itself wasn't the direct cause.
You hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
The mice without SOD1 had way more liver damage,
Oh, wow.
even when the amount of virus was the same as in mice with normal SOD1.
Really?
Their livers were basically sitting ducks for those free radicals.
Hold on. So their own immune systems were working against them? How is that even possible?
Right.
I thought our bodies were usually pretty good at fighting off infections. What's going wrong here?
That's the million-dollar question.
Okay.
And it's where this research gets really fascinating.
Okay.
Turns out a crucial part of our immune response, type I interferon,
Okay.
or IFN-I for short,
IFN-I.
is actually behind the vanishing act of SOD1.
Wait a minute. IFN-I.
Yeah,
Isn't that one of the good guys?
it is.
Like the first responder of the immune system.
You're right. IFN-I is essential for fighting viruses.
Right.
Think of it as the alarm system,
Oh, yeah.
alerting your body to the threat.
Got it.
But like any powerful tool,
Yeah.
it needs to be carefully controlled.
Okay.
What the researchers discovered is that IFN-I can actually reduce the production of SOD1.
So it's like calling the fire department but then accidentally cutting off the water supply at the same time?
Precisely.
Oh, no.
The very act of fighting the virus was making the liver more vulnerable
Wow.
because there wasn't enough SOD1 to keep those free radicals in check.
Okay. I need to make sure I'm following this. So the virus shows up,
Right.
triggering IFN-I,
Yep.
which is supposed to help fight it off.
Right.
But then IFN-I messes with SOD1 production,
Exactly.
leaving the liver open to attack from those rogue free radicals.
Right.
And that's what leads to even more damage, even if the virus itself isn't directly causing it.
That's right.
Did I get that right?
You got it.
Okay.
It's a classic example of how even the most well-intentioned biological processes can have unintended consequences.
Wow.
And this isn't just some abstract finding in a lab.
Right.
It has huge implications for how we think about treating viral infections.
Whoa. Okay. Before we get into the implications of all of this, I need you to walk me through how the researchers figured this out.
Okay.
What did they actually do to uncover this whole chain reaction? So they figured out that IFN-I, the immune system's first responder, can actually stifle the liver's defenses.
Right.
How did they track down the culprit at a cellular level?
Uh,
It's like a microscopic game of Clue.
yeah, it really is.
Okay.
So remember how we talked about the liver being a crucial battleground?
Yeah.
Well, they wanted to see what was happening within the main cells of the liver,
Okay.
the hepatocytes.
Okay, so they're zeroing in on these hepatocytes, the liver's frontline defenders.
Exactly.
What did they find?
Well, they used a clever trick with mice
Okay.
that had a mix of genetically different cells.
Okay.
Think of it like a cellular swap,
Okay.
allowing them to pinpoint exactly which cells were responsible for the damage.
Cellular espionage.
Yeah.
I love it. So what did their tiny spies uncover?
The plot thickens. They found that the liver damage was most severe
Yeah.
when the hepatocytes themselves were missing SOD1.
Okay, so even if the immune system is sending out all the right signals,
Right.
if the liver cells aren't equipped to handle the oxidative stress,
Right.
things can still go haywire?
They can.
They need those internal fire extinguishers.
They do. And that brings us to the real challenge.
Yeah.
You can't just shut down the immune system to protect the liver.
Right.
That's like surrendering to the enemy to avoid friendly fire.
Okay, so how do you walk that tightrope?
Right.
How do you fight the infection without the body attaching itself?
That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
And that's what makes this research so groundbreaking.
Okay.
The researchers wanted to see if they could tip the scales.
Yeah.
Protect the liver without compromising the immune response.
So they were basically trying to hack the system.
Yeah, basics.
I'm on the edge of my seat here. Did it work?
Well, they tested a couple of approaches.
Okay.
First, they tried giving the mice an antioxidant
Okay.
that mimics what SOD1 does.
Okay.
Remember how SOD1 levels were dropping?
Right.
This was like providing a backup supply of those free radical cleanup crews.
So it's like bringing in a substitute teacher for the missing SOD1. Did that work?
It did.
Wow.
In the mice that received this SOD1 substitute,
Yeah.
the liver damage was significantly reduced.
Okay, that's promising. But what about IFN-I itself?
Right.
Was there any way to dial back its effect on SOD1 without completely shutting down the immune response?
So they tried another clever trick, blocking the receptor that IFN-I uses to communicate with cells.
Oh.
Imagine putting a muffler on the alarm bell.
Okay.
You still get a warning, but it's not quite as ear-splitting.
So they could let the immune system know there was a problem
Yeah.
without triggering the whole chain reaction that led to liver damage?
Exactly.
Wow.
And remarkably, it worked.
Wow.
When they blocked the IFN-I receptor,
Yeah.
the liver damage was significantly reduced.
So this is huge, right?
Yeah,
It's like finding a way to fine-tune the immune response. Not too much, not too little, but just, right?
precisely.
Wow.
And that's the biggest takeaway from this research.
Okay.
It opens up a whole new avenue for developing treatments that target these specific pathways,
Okay.
leading to more precise and effective therapies.
So instead of just throwing the whole arsenal at a virus, we can start to develop more elegant and targeted approaches.
Exactly.
This is really incredible stuff.
It is really cool.
As we wrap up this deep dive, I'm completely blown away by the complexities of the immune system.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
It really makes you appreciate the intricate systems working behind the scenes to keep us healthy.
It really does.
Now, before we go, we wanted to leave you with something to ponder.
Okay.
The researchers focused on the liver in this study.
Right.
But what if this IFN-I and SOD1 connection is happening elsewhere in the body during an infection?
Oh, interesting.
It's a question worth exploring, don't you think?
Absolutely.
That's all the time we have for today, but we'll be back next week with another deep dive into the latest scientific discoveries.
See you then.